And this is going to be somebody that Ross is going to want to talk about quite a bit. I know he's been high
Hmm.
on him. I am high on him, but I know Ross is very high on him. And that is going to be Adael Amador with the Colorado Rockies. He's 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. He's 20 years old. He's out of the Dominican Republic. And I'm going to showcase this year rather than what he's done in the past, even though the past has been pretty darn good. I just want to run through his 2023 numbers. He's got 275 at bats in 2023. His average was 287, on base percentage of 380, slugged 495, on base plus slugging 875. He had 15 stolen bases and 12 home runs, 15 doubles. This guy, we've talked about Amador quite a bit. He shows up on my list, Ross lists, very, very high. He squeaks in at number 10, and I think we both have him higher than number 10.
Yeah, absolutely. I have him as my number 19 overall prospect. So I'm incredibly high on Amador. And I would go so far as to say this is one of my guys. Like I put a stamp on this guy last season. Um, Maybe even going back a year before. I've been really high on Amador because he has all the traits that I love in a prospect, especially with his walk and strikeout ratios. I was anticipating a breakout in terms of power this year, and I kind of got it. We kind of got that this year. But let me walk through it just briefly. Last season, he hit 15 home runs. He slashed 292, 415, 445. He also had 26 stolen bases. Pretty good profile all around. But what he was lacking, that was at the single A level, but what he was lacking that would have pushed him into superstar level was a little bit more power. So I've seen this time and time again with profiles like this where these guys develop power over the years. We kind of got that this year. He boosted his slugging percentage up to 495. He only hit 12 home runs, but he was injured, so he missed time. And when he came back, he was hitting with pretty decent power for a while. So the numbers are slightly misleading in the total home run count. We did see an uptick. I would have liked to have seen more, but he's still walking more than he struck out this season. And last season, he walked 87 times and only struck out 67. This year it was 39 and 37 respectively. So still really good, a little lower, but he did make his way all the way up to double A by season's end. So I'd say it's a successful season. He ranks in the top 10. He did not last year. He projects pretty well by Scout the Stat line. And we're looking at somebody who's kind of knocking on the major leagues within the next year or two. Might not be as a shortstop. They got Tovar up there at shortstop, really good defensively. Amador maybe moves over to second base, something like that. But he's got excellent plate discipline. I'm pulling for him. He's one of my favorite prospects.
I love it. So we got he's a little bit old of a 20-year-old. He will be 21 to start the season, but he's already in double A. He's probably going to see triple A. In my mind, a well-run organization would have him in the major leagues next year. I don't
Yeah, we'll
think we
see.
see
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
that might be a little aggressive. I would expect that it's more likely that 2025, but you never know. And he'll finally be healthy. And I haven't changed my whole theory and hypothesis of Amador yet. That I thought he would develop power. I think we had an injury that might have intervened with that. So we'll see. That is still in play. I'm still looking for it. Could be a huge breakout for this year if it works out. And if so, then we will see him in the major leagues for sure.
Yeah. He missed 200 at bats this year, at least, probably 200 and damn near 250. So he missed half a year. I'm going to put my stamp on it right now. I think he sees the major leagues this year.
Love it.
This is a complete gut feeling for me, and I think it can move Tovar off of short because let's be honest, when you have a superstar shortstop, you don't move him off that position. You keep him there, and I think Amador is a superstar. He's an absolute go get him to me.
So absolutely, I agree with you across the board, but I'm going to take the thoughtful position and play a little devil's advocate here for a valuation perspective. He comes in at 10th here. He
Yep.
is ranked number 50 overall on Scout the Stat Lines rankings for hitters. And you do have people like me putting him as a top 20 prospect. And I'm not alone there. I don't think, the big publications are as high as I am on him, but they are relatively high. So he's not somebody that you're getting for cheap. So that's the one caveat I'm going to add in here. So while Andor's going after him from a value perspective, this is maybe not the guy to target right now.
Okay. It's funny that you brought up Tovar because that was going to be my first question that I was going to ask, is who the Rocky shortstop was, as far as a blocker, because I forgot about Tovar, but then as soon as you brought it up, I was like, well, that question goes out the window.
Yeah.
Amador, I like him. Go get him.